I should be headache free. So I thought, emphasis on thought. Anywho, so Stacey, we go to the next meeting. Stacey is not well. And so now I'm like, oh dear, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, I just have really bad headache. I have aura, this. So I'm just like, okay, all right, go get a test. Are we on? Are we in business? Okay. Hello, people of the interwebs. Yeah, so today we're going to talk about what happened to me in semester one. Today we're going to talk about what happened to me in semester one because your girl ended up getting COVID. I got COVID and I was knocking on death's door for a while. So I'm just going to recap like the whole story. Because it was very unexpected. In fact, everything that happened to me in semester one was extremely unexpected. This is not what I dreamt of when I was going to come to uni, but it is what it is. So let's start. So I think I arrived on a Monday. It was Monday the 28th of September. Cool. So I get here, and bear in mind that during the beginning of lockdown and the entirety of lockdown, I was in London. And if I wasn't in London, I was in Manchester. But at both locations, I did not go anywhere. I stayed in, we ordered groceries to the house, and that's how it was. I was living by myself in my own flat in London. And I didn't go out for months. I did not go out. Even when they opened things up and people went to go and have, their little brunch, I was seeing people on Instagram going out, having a good time. I think it was the month of August that was Eat Out to Help Out and everybody went out. I did not participate. Why? Because number one, 90% of my family work for the NHS, so I was hearing about how bad it was from them constantly, every single day. Secondly, I have asthma, so technically I am a vulnerable person. And so I just didn't want to get it. And thirdly, I have anxiety, okay? So when I was hearing this person got it and died in 3 days and all of that mess, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not leaving my house. So I didn't leave my house, okay? I did not leave my house. I did not do part of the little enjoyment. I did not do that. So I get to uni thinking, safe haven, everyone's going to be tested, I'm going to be indoors, it's going to be absolutely fine. If I do have to go into an in-person class, it's not going to be that much of a big deal because it's going to be small groups and we're going to be social distancing. So that was my understanding. I get to university. The following day, I somehow managed to gather at the ripe age of 24 years old, chickenpox. Called my mother, fuming, asking her, what do you mean I've never had this before? And she proceeded to admit that I never had it before and neither had my sister. So I suffered with chickenpox for 2.5 weeks. Great. Had to isolate because some people haven't had chickenpox in my flat. So I had to isolate. Great. I'm already suffering at this point. Anyway, that passes. School now starts. School's going great. Yes, this is a master's program, super intensive. So I'm just doing the best I can. And I think I've mentioned this, but I mentioned this in my other videos as well, that I'm doing strategic communications at Loughborough University. So that's what I'm doing, and it's an MA for 1 year. And we basically hit the ground running. So much to do, so many classes, so much reading. So I got stuck into it and was just minding my business, doing what I needed to do day in, day out. Now we had 2 in-person classes. The way these classes were structured was that when we did go to a lecture room, it was a big lecture room for a really small group. So I guess the logic behind it was it's going to be fine because we're all going to be very separated and very spread out. So we were spread out, I was sitting by myself, somebody else would be sitting like 2 tables away from me, that kind of situation. So it was fine. And then we got given a group project. Now, here's the kicker. We got given a group project. I managed to make 2 friends of the course at the very beginning. So I had a group project and we decided to be in a group together and one other girl. And this is what made the whole story extremely odd. I started feeling ill. And when I say ill, I don't mean like I felt, you know, like I had the flu or whatever. I just started with like this very just like numbing headache. And I never get headaches. Like I go through a lot of things. I get nauseous quite a bit, especially when it's like PMS time and whatever. But headaches is not one of my symptoms. So I started feeling like I had this headache, this lingering headache. It wasn't like excruciatingly painful, but it was just there, you know? Like it's just doing whatever it's doing in the background. So yeah, so I was just like, I don't understand why I feel this way. And I remember telling my friend, we'll call her Stacey for this video. So I remember telling Stacey, I don't feel too good. Like, I just don't know what it is. And she was like, oh, it's probably PMS, it's probably your period, don't worry about it, it's fine. And she asked me, you know, when is it? And I was like, oh, it's supposed to be starting like next week. So she was like, oh yeah, it's that, 100%, it's that, don't worry about it, just take painkillers and keep going on. So we go to a little group meeting. We're all sitting with each other, going to our group meeting. None of us think that we have it by any means. So it was fine. Like I got tested before I came. Most people got tested before they came as well. So it was absolutely fine. And we're wearing masks as well. So go for our group meeting. Everything's fine. Then the following week we have another group meeting and Stacey's not feeling well. So, and I still have my headache, by the way, you guys. I still have my headache. But I'm just like, you know what? It's that time of the month. It's okay. By the time my time of the month is done, I should be headache free. So I thought. Emphasis on thought. Anywho, so Stacey, we go to the next meeting. Stacey is not well. And so now I'm like, oh dear, what's going on? And she was like, yeah, I just have really bad headache. I have aura, this. So I'm just like, okay, all right, go get a test. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I don't hear from her for like 2 days, and I think she messaged me on the Monday. So this happened, the meeting happened on Friday. She messaged me on the Monday and was like, I've tested positive for coronavirus. Now I wish the camera was on when I heard this news, guys. I was literally there like, you don't say. What? Me has now been exposed. Oh my goodness. So now I'm stressing like, what? So she's like, yeah, go and get tested. So I'm like, okay, cool. And what was so weird about this as well was my time of the month ended during that weekend. So Sunday it was over, Monday it was over, but I still had the headache. So I was just like, something doesn't make sense. Something is not making sense. I'm doing the math and the math is not mathing, baby. So Monday comes and I also get this news from her. So now I am very scared. So I go and get a test. And turns out that your good sis Melanie now has the Rona. And I was just like, how did we get here? How did we actually get here? I don't understand how we got here. I did everything by the book, okay? You see those people that are outside wearing PPE, looking crazy as hell? That was me. That was me. I was so upset, okay, that I got it. Number one, because I did everything that I was meant to do. I had bottles and bottles of sanitizer with me. I wasn't like, if someone would sneeze, in fact, if someone would move their face, I would flinch. That's how deep it was for me. I was so scared of getting it. And I wasn't an advocate for in-person classes at all. I was not advocate. All I was advocating for is, if you're not going to have in-person classes, that's absolutely fine. Just let me pay distance learning tuition fees. Let me just pay that instead. And I'll happily not attend any of these classes in person. For real, I will happily attend on MS Teams or Zoom, as long as I'm paying tuition fee that is reflective of a university degree gotten via Zoom or MS Teams, period. So when I got my positive test, I'm now thinking, I don't know how this came about. I don't know what's going on. And the thing that is so weird is, you would think that Stacey was the one who gave it to me, right? But no, I started feeling sick before Stacey. So now I'm like, did I give it to Stacey? But then at the same time too, then who did I get it from? Because nobody in my flat has tested positive. So this is all just again, like I said earlier, the math is not mathing. I'm so confused because I didn't go anywhere apart from these in-person classes. I didn't touch foot in the library until second semester, which is the semester I'm in now. So I'm just like, where did I get this? This is truly an airborne disease because I don't know who I got this from. So I now have to isolate and do the whole nine. Guys, this disease is not a joke. It's not a joke, okay? It is not a laughing matter. It's not a laughing matter at all. At all. When I tell you I experienced suffering like I've never experienced suffering before, I was praying to the Lord saying, if it's my time to see you, do you know what? I accept it. I accept it because this is too much. I have gone through, like my parents have been through all with me from how many times I've been sick, and I've just been randomly getting sicknesses, allergies and all sorts. Anyway, so but this is by far one of the worst things I have ever experienced in my life. So it started off with a headache. Headache just got worse, and these are daily persistent headaches. The headache got worse and worse, turned into a full-blown migraine. Yeah, and then by the second week I had body pains, I was coughing, I was sneezing, like all of it, all the symptoms. I had it. The only thing that I didn't get was the pneumonia, thank be, but the only thing I didn't get was the pneumonia. But everything else, the aches and pains, loss of taste, you know, at some point I was thinking I was losing my vision. It was a mess. It was complete chaos. And the bottom line is I was sick for 2.5 months. The whole of the semester I spent it in my room. The only friends I had were my friends that live abroad that I FaceTime, my uni friends who I see on MS Teams, the people in my flat who I have to talk to through the crack of my door because I can't risk them getting anything, and my Uber and Deliveroo driver. That was it. That was literally my entire first semester, and it was just so peak for me. It was so sad because I was so excited to come and like see people, and I know like we couldn't really do everything. Like we couldn't really go out and do all of the stuff that you would do if you just start uni, but I wanted to do just a little bit, just give me a crumb of enjoyment, please. I was here in this room. So I'm telling everybody now, if you think that you are above the law, yes, I'm talking to you. If you think that you are above the law and you can go and gallivant and frolic in the streets and be safe, you are mistaken. This disease does not discriminate. It doesn't care if you don't want it. It doesn't care if you only went out for one day. It doesn't care if you went out for 2 hours with your nan. You need to understand that you need to stay at home. Stay at home. Don't go anywhere. Don't even risk it because it's actually really crazy. I feel like the only reason I'm a little bit lenient now is because that disease was in my body for 2.5 months, so I know I have some antibodies now, but it doesn't mean that I've thrown caution to the wind. I am going to a library and things like that, but I am social distancing, I'm wearing my masks, I'm sanitizing, I'm doing all of those things because this is not to be played with. I actually thought that I was going to have to drop out of my master's course. That's how sad it got. I wish I had videoed when I was talking to my best friend on the phone. I was literally in tears thinking like, I'm gonna have to just tell them that I can't continue. After working so hard to get here, I was literally going to have to say I can't continue, all because of getting the Rona. So yeah, that is my story, and it's now semester 2. And I'm literally making up my time, but it's okay, we'll get through it. Okay, so that's just a recap of what happened to me. I will be doing more videos talking about my uni experience, everything that I've been going through. Semester 2, I'm gonna actually put up a video about semester 2 and how I'm planning to do everything this semester and all of that stuff. So yep, stay tuned for the vlogs, and I'll be back. Catch you next one. Bye.